What on earth is going on with Chillguy? One of the best performing meme coins on the Solana ecosystem. It seems to now recently just trade sideways, and we did see quite massive crashes in between. Does it still make sense to buy the current dips? Let's have a look at the on-chain analytics as usual. So here's what I'm talking about. In the last few hours, we have seen corrections of 45%. And it seems like this is somewhat atypical for Chillguy. We tended to simply just constantly go up. But now for the last 12 hours, we went sideways or even slightly down. What's going on here? Who's buying here? Who's selling here? Let's dive deep into the blockchain data again. Now, before we do this, I want to share the YouTube analytics on the prior Chillguy video on this channel. That video outperformed an average video on this channel by quite a bit. In other words, there is retail demand. There is attention. The video was published when we were still at 20 cents, and that was over here. So since then, we more than doubled. And so I tried to find those kind of tokens that currently have positive momentum and that still have some upwards potential to grow further. I publish videos on various meme coins regularly on this channel, so feel free to subscribe, potentially even hit the notification bell, because again, timing is very important in crypto. It's important to be early. Now let's have a look at the data again. On the left side, we see the number of first-time traders in purple and the number of recurring traders in orange. And we can nicely see how the number of first-time traders is growing very quickly over time. We can ignore the latest data point because today has just started. We can also see, besides the trading volume increasing, right, this is measured in US dollars, how as a fraction of all of trading volume, the large players tend to take over more and more of that volume. So small retail is all the wallets that have less than $1,000 worth of the token. Medium retail is up to 10,000. Large retail is up to 100,000. And the whales is more than 100,000 worth of the token. So the whales aren't really trading yet, but large retail definitely is. And it takes more and more of the trading volume. Now, instead of segregating by the US dollar amounts, we can also segregate by the number of tokens that a wallet holds. So on the left side, we've got the number of wallets that have at least 4,000 Chillguy tokens. At the current price, that's roughly $1,500 worth of the token. In the middle, we go another 10x in minimum holding, so that's now $15,000. On the right, another 10x, so $150,000. Again, we should ignore the latest data point because today has just started. But we can compare, for example, what happened in the last 3 days. From the 18th of November to this date right now, we grew by roughly 10% in the number of whales. Medium-sized retail grew much faster. That went up by roughly 40%. And the number of small retail wallets grew the most. It more than doubled from 4,000 all the way to 9,500. So it seems like there's still accumulation across the board. It seems like most purchases happen by small retail, but it doesn't look like the whales are really actively selling. They're actively trading. Some of them are dollar cost averaging, some of them are selling, but in aggregate, the number of whales isn't going down. Now, here is the value that's held by those small retail wallets. It shows us a nice exponential curve, pretty much what we expect when a token goes viral. For the value held by the medium-sized retail wallets, we see similar growth, but we do have recently a bit more profit taking. The same is true for large retail. Here it seems like the accumulation has accelerated a bit more recently. And for the whales, the value absolutely exploded. And here we can see why there is a bit of headwind every now and then. The value of the whales went from 300 million down to currently 259 million. So they are selling comparatively the most aggressively. But still, the accumulation by retail investors stays somewhat strong. If the whales aren't suddenly dumping everything, the rally can definitely continue. Now, here's a problem with Chillguy, and I talked about this already in the prior video. The market cap of Chillguy is already at 444 million. And it's thus already 1/3 of the largest of the Pump.fun ecosystem tokens. ACT has already been listed on Binance, so has Peanut. Chillguy has not. Thus, a listing, of course, could push the price higher, but if that listing doesn't occur, then the whales at some point might get cold feet and take profit when retail demand slows down, which currently it doesn't. And so it's always a game of risk versus reward. The best performing tokens in the Pump.fun ecosystem were the smaller ones. Have a look at this. This is the tokens ordered by the performance in the last 7 days. And check out their market caps. They're all in the tens of millions. They're not in the hundreds of millions. And also note, they are not just in the 1 million or few $100,000 range, right? They are in the tens of millions. There seems to be some kind of market cap corridor, right? When the market cap is too small, then the risk of getting rug pulled is very, very large. When the market cap is too high, then there's no more upside potential. Have a look at this list here. This comes from Crypto Bubbles, and this shows us the performance in the last week based on the size cohort. And by far, the best cohort was the tokens that were at market rank 400 to 500. And so those are the kind of tokens that are in the tens of millions, not in the hundreds of millions. And this is pretty consistent, right? This is the performance in the last month. Again, the same kind of cohort. Now, this is the performance in the last week and in the last month. But what happens on a day when the performance in general isn't that great? Does then this cohort fall more? So today, most of those batches are losing, and our preferred batch over here is losing pretty much to the same degree as the others. So during good times, we go up much more. During bad times, there's not that much difference. And so here's a common misconception. Most people that are active in meme coin trading have the impression that altcoins in general are doing now much better than Bitcoin. But nothing could be further from the truth. What we've got here behind me is the others dominance. So this is the market share of all the cryptocurrencies that are not in the top 10. And since beginning of the year, this actually went down by more than 30%. In the last 2 years, this went down by more than 50%. At the same time, the Bitcoin dominance is rising. So Bitcoin as a share of all of crypto is going up. And so really the gains are all now to be made in the meme coin market. They're not to be made in infrastructure or in DeFi. All attention, all gains are in meme coins. And again, it's not in all meme coins, it's in the smallish meme coins. Now the question is, how can we identify those potential winners before they're too large? So how can we buy something like the Peanut token, the largest token in the Pump.fun ecosystem? How can we find that when it's not at $1.44, but just at a few cents? I believe the answer to that question is wallet tracking. It's finding insiders, it's finding market influencers, it's finding top traders that tend to time the market well, that tend to buy early, and simply just find out when are they buying, what are they buying. So have a look at this. This is Crypto Banter, and Crypto Banter bought the Peanut token at 3 cents. Now that was over here. Since then, the price went up by more than 4,000%. Now why is that? It's because Crypto Banter is one of the largest YouTube channels in all of crypto. They've got more than 1 million subscribers. When they talk about a token, of course this generates attention, and of course the price tends to then go up. Have a look at this. This is a list of all the wallets that we track by Crypto Banter. We found those wallets again through on-chain analytics. It's 33 wallets by Crypto Banter. It's 400 wallets in total that we are tracking. We are not just tracking Crypto Banter, we also track Alex Becker. He's got even more subscribers, 1.5 million, and we've got 12 of his wallets. And so this is what I believe differentiates the winners from the losers, right? It's getting information most people don't have. It's not just picking a random token in a list. It's actually figuring out what the top people are really doing. And because I like this approach so much, I've made a dedicated tutorial section just on this topic. How can we find various influencer wallets? How can we then track those influencer wallets? And how can we afterwards also interpret the signals that we get from the tracking? It's all part of the premium membership of this channel that's down below, thebitcoinstrader.com. It's not just about wallet tracking, it's also about on-chain analytics, right? The charts that we looked at today. It's also about risk mitigation. It's also about backtesting, all kinds of videos, more than 100 videos in total. Once we've got a signal, we of course also have to discuss when should we buy, when should we sell. We have to update our on-chain analytics. That's why we've got dedicated chats on the individual altcoins as well. So feel free to check it out. It's currently $125 per month. There's also a 1-week money back guarantee. So in case you don't like premium, in case you don't make money, just message me within the first week and I refund you 100%. There's really zero risk for you. So yes, I do believe that Chillguy can go higher. The question is, will a listing on a centralized exchange like Binance happen anytime soon? If it doesn't happen, if we simply just trade sideways for a while, then the retail adoption might slow down and then the whales might be dumping. So there is a bit of a ticking time bomb here. Jumping in now might make sense, but holding over the next months without any listing is probably a bit dangerous. If you got some value out of this video, feel free to subscribe. I publish videos regularly. A like would be very much appreciated as well. It helps the channel grow. See you in the next video or see you in premium. Cheers.